A lot of talk about inflation. That CPI number could come in red hot today, nearly 7%. That's extreme. Does that change the macro way in which you think about the markets?
So what's interesting about the comments by Chair Powell and also that 7.1 number we're talking about is we were just looking the end of 2021 at something like 4 million or so early retirees, by the government's standard, early retirees. And so that number is actually coupled with super high inflation. And so you have a number of people who are retiring early coming out into a market where they're needing to achieve something like 7% plus on their portfolio to do better than what the market, than what inflation currently is. And so that measly, we thought it was a big deal back last year when they announced it, but that 5.9% cost of living adjustment that Social Security retirees received is now looking awful small if you compare that to the number. And then Chair Powell is now on TV yesterday talking about the fact that they expect it to be an extended period of time before things come back in alignment. And that suddenly becomes a little bit scary if I'm a person who either is planning for retirement or has already retired recently.
Yeah, because what inflation does, it just decreases your buying power, in some cases brutally so. Have you seen the price of food or meat or whatever lately? I mean, it is very high. All right, let's move on, Malcolm, and let's get some stock picks, maybe help the retirees out there make a little money in their golden years. PayPal, a name that you love. I know you've been trimming some of your bigger tech, but PayPal, I guess you consider more of a fintech than a tech.
Well, so PayPal is sort of just an acquisition story. This time, at least, we expect PayPal to put its $5 billion worth of expected free cash to work later this year, right? They've done a pretty decent job of expanding into Japanese markets last year. We expect them to continue to push into the Asian markets this year. I think they've identified a couple of targets in even Indonesia. And so we just see PayPal with all of its inorganic growth and all of the firepower that it has sitting on the sidelines right now as a great way to to buy your way into some inorganic growth. They have been aggressively growing last year. We expect them to keep it up this year. And so that's really what it is. It's nothing super fancy thematically about that name.